Fling and Puterbaugh don't say a lot about the woolly bugger in their book, The Basic Manual of Fly Tying. They do suggest it's a very effective fly. They don't mention that it was developed by Russel Blessing in Pennsylvania in 1967 when he tied a marabou tail on a woolly worm. His originals used olive dubbing or olive chenille for the body. Fling and Puterbaugh suggest clipping the tip out of the marabou feather and cutting it shorter, although I'm going to have way more than I need here. Wetting the marabou also can help kind of control it. So the tail is about the length of the hook shank. I'm using a number 8 hook, but this can be tied on so many different hook sizes, and colors also are so variable. But I'm kind of going a little traditional here with the black marabou for the tail, and I've got that couple wraps tied in up here behind the eye. I'm going to go ahead and clip off the extra and tie in the flash now and wrap them together. So I have some polar flash. Actually, I'm going to tie it the same length as the tail, and I'll just wrap those together. And if I hold them to the front of the hook shank as I wrap, then it will wrap them right on top of the shank. And I'm coming back to about where the barb is. Clip out the extra. Fling and Puterbaugh also mention that they're not sure what this fly imitates, but there is some research that suggests that Russel Blessing was trying to imitate a Dobson fly, emerger, and that he originally tied it as a bass fly, and it's certainly a very versatile fly. It can be used for a variety of fish and tied in so many varieties in color and added stuff. I am using a black hackle feather for the hackle, tying it in by the tip back here at the hook bend. And then the variation that I'm using also from both Blessing and Puterbaugh is that I am tying it with Peacock Herl for the body. So I have 5 strands of Herl, and I have clipped the butt ends off of those and using those for the body. I'll wrap those in also back to the tail, and then I'm going to just bring my thread halfway up and use it to guide as I wrap forward with the Herl. I could put the Herl into a rope. Terry Tanner, who is a Missouri Ozarks area fly tyer, suggests a little bit of super glue on the top of the shank to help tie in or hold in, strengthen the Herl as it gets wrapped. So 5 strands gives me a nice full body, and it's a little important to keep in mind the length of the shank and have Herl that's going to be long enough to wrap all the way up to the eye. And again, letting that thread hang down kind of keeps all that Herl together as I wrap it forward. So just up here behind the eye, I will catch that in. A few catch-in wraps over the top, wrap underneath, and then I can clip out all the extra Herl here. Then I will palmer this black hackle feather through the body, and that's also going to help to strengthen the herl body, make it a little bit less vulnerable to fish teeth. And I use the tip to tie in, and then as I wrap forward in spiraling wraps, I'm getting closer to the butt end of this hackle feather, and the hackle fibers get longer, and so then I get a longer look on the hackle as I get up to the eye. Catch that in up here behind the eye. And then pull back. And I have one fiber out there in front of the eye. I'm going to have to trim that off. Then grab this hackle stem, clip it off, and then I can put my whip finish on that. I'm going to put a dab of head cement on that as well. Looks like I've got a herl, or try to wrap that up into the head. Sure, the super glue under there is probably enough, but a little bit of head cement on that isn't going to hurt anything either. So a dab of this diluted goop, soak right into that thread head, and it'll dry clear. So a woolly bugger, this one using a Peacock Herl for the body, the rest in black.